Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our E at UBCO Quick Pitch judges. Grant Lawrence. Grant is the president of the Kelowna Valhalla Angels and co-president of the Vancouver Valhalla Angels. Sheikh Karim. Sheikh is the CEO of Lightlink Technologies and a current Valhalla Angel. Benjamin Lin. Ben is the co-founder of Savvy Solutions PureTech and a current Valhalla Angel. Rose Bojani, entrepreneur, mentor, strategist. Rose is the previous technology sector specialist at BDC and is a current Valhalla Angel. Henry King. Henry was the previous owner of ArtNap's Plantland, Penticton, and a current Valhalla Angel. Mark Montemuro. Mark is the director of CO2 Energy Inc. and a current Valhalla Angel. And Courtney Hess. Courtney is the current community market manager at RBC and the founder, former president of Direct Approach Golfing.
Welcome to the E at UBC Quick Pitch Challenge. Six teams, 2 tracks. Our first track, Marketplace. These teams have a product or service, and they're getting customer traction. Our second track, Customer Discovery. These are early stage teams. They've identified their first target market, and they're building their business model. Our judges are going to judge both tracks. Then they're going to leave us for a few minutes while they decide on the winners. Then it's up to you to vote on the Audience Choice Award, which is brought to us by IBI Group. I'm going to rejoin you at that point to tell you about the exciting prize packages that we have for the winners. So let's get started. Marketplace track. Our first venture, Taste Advisor, CEO Alyssa Farr.
Just make sure that, okay, great, it's on. Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Farr. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Taste Advisor, and my business takes the guesswork out of buying wine. How many of you are tired of buying the wrong wine? How many times have you bought a wine based on a recommendation only to get home and discover you don't like it at all? Well, this is a total waste of money, and it's happened to me more times than I can count, so I started thinking there has got to be a better way. Sommeliers are proof that you don't have to guess. They're trained to accurately identify wines and tastes, but we're not all going to become sommeliers. So what if there was a technology that could accurately identify your tastes? What if you could find wines that were a perfect match for you and know exactly where to buy them? Well, Taste Advisor does exactly this. We use a short taste test to learn your preferences and then match those preferences to wines that fit that criteria. So we're like dating for wine. And our matches have accuracy of greater than 80%. So if you want to find a wine that you love, you go to Taste Advisor online or on your phone. Then we show you a list of all regional wines with a percent match, and we show you a list of the wineries, retailers, and restaurants that sell it. It's the perfect consumer solution. Find exactly what you like, know exactly where to buy it. So how do we take the Taste Advisor solution to as many wine consumers as fast as possible? The best strategy is to work with wine tourism associations. Every wine region has an association that's government funded to help wine consumers find what they love. But right now, these associations rely on paper maps or basic route planners to help consumers like us. These solutions don't help you find wines you like, where to buy them, and they're not user-friendly. Our solution provides these associations with much better tools for their consumers. So let's say a local association like BCWI here wanted to use Taste Advisor. They would license the platform at $50,000 a year on a 3-year term, and they'd rebrand it under their own name, maybe Wines of BC, and then they'd promote it to all BC residents. And then wineries or retailers who wanted premium placement would pay us $1,200 a year for that additional exposure. So in total, over a 3-year term, a region like BC is worth $760,000. Our goal is to sell 12 of these regions by 2023, taking us to $2 million in annual recurring revenue. And I'm happy to say we're in the final stages of signing our first regional agreement, launching in June. Now, this industry is worth about $58 billion, and our goal over the next 3 years is to expand into countries where wine tourism is similar to Canada. We have 12 regions that we're focused on, and we only need 6 to be financially sustainable. So I'm here today looking for investors and advocates who can help us grow by making introductions to these target regions. Prize money from this competition will allow us to support our sales and grow and reach our targets. So if you see yourself on this journey with us, I'd love to have a glass of wine with you and talk more. Otherwise, wine's on me. Otherwise, thank you so much for the opportunity to share a Taste Advisor with you tonight, and congratulations to the other candidates on making it this far. Thanks.
Could you mention or talk to what the competition is? What are people using today?
So for the most part, they're using paper maps like you see when you go wine tasting or you go to a visitor center. And then some of these regions have made what we call like a really basic route planning app that's custom. They spent money on themselves, but all it does is show you where the wineries are. It doesn't really allow you to make routes very effectively, and it doesn't show you any of the events that you can enjoy, any of the wines in the area. You can't rate things, you can't put things in a cellar, you can't do all these additional features. And there's not any big brand. They're like one-offs.
Is that on? Oh, there we go. Perfect. Can you, you've talked a lot about your revenue model and what you plan to do in that space, but can you talk a little bit about your behind the scenes? Who's supporting this? Do you have, is it a team of how many? What does your behind the scenes strategy look like?
Yeah, so we have 4 core team members that work with us, myself and 3 others. We have a sensory research on our team, and we have an executive coach and then a brand manager. So we work with really large brands, right? So they're provincial, state brands. So having a good execution strategy is really important. All of us have been entrepreneurs for the last 20 years, most of us 10, 20. So we've all owned businesses. We know what it means to have to earn business and deliver to get paid. And we're really strong on the business to business side. And since this is a business to business, we feel like we're really well positioned to execute. But we are looking as we grow to add 2 additional sales staff and a data analyst. There's a real opportunity for us to expand into consumer reports and provincial reports. And so that's a strength we want to add to our team.
Thank you.
You chose the right product, by the way, so good job.
I agree.
You know, when I think about consumer-facing apps, what incentive do they have to stay and stick with this app? I use, Vino app today.
Yeah.
I use scan codes to get their user ratings. I'm able to see socially who's drank it, who's not drank it within my community. What is your differentiator to keep customers coming back?
Yeah, so there's 2 things I'll address with that. It's a good point. We often get compared to Vivino, and Vivino does a great job. I mean, they're the world's largest wine marketplace. They do excellent work. That said, they don't usually have great regional representation. So if you wanted to find most of the wines, like a good 80% of the wines that we have in the region aren't available on Vivino for any review. So it doesn't do a really great job of showing you what's in your area, and that's true of every wine region that you go to, with the exception of maybe France or Spain, where they're major producers. The other part of it is that the rating system, or the looking what everybody else has to say, our philosophy is that what other people have to say really doesn't matter. If 5,000 people like a wine and give it 5 out of 5 and you drink it and you don't like it, did it matter that 5,000 people liked it? It didn't. So we're actually moving away from a rating system. You will rate in the app because it matters to you to remember what you liked, but we actually don't make the ratings visible because our matching system takes that guesswork out. You can now see it's an 87% match for you because we know you like this, and it is that, which is different than having 5,000 people. It does mark a major technological change in the industry, but it's an important one we think will increase consumer satisfaction.
Thank you, Lissa. And thank you, judges. Next up, Proximi, co-founder Arpan Kandola.
Testing, testing, testing. All right, should we do this? All right. Okay, welcome to Proximi. Our team consists of 3 people. Brody Cooch leads operations, Brandon Kaiser leads development, my name is Arpan Kandola, and I lead strategy. Our company mission is to end social isolation by bringing people together in private online communities. What makes a great community? The people. But what makes people feel like they're part of that community? At Proximy, we help institutions and organizations build private online communities for better engagement, collaboration, and social connection in the real world. Canadian universities are a $35 billion industry with 148 colleges and 96 universities nationwide and enroll up to 2 million students. 15 million students across North America struggle with social isolation every single day with current platforms in place. That's half the population of Canada. Let's take UBC Okanagan as a case study. Out of 10,000 students, 70% of those are in a completely new environment, away from family, trying to make new friends and a new experience. There are currently no platforms in place that allow students to come together on a platform based on your interests and allow you to get involved in groups, events, social events, professional events on campus. Proximy breaks down those barriers and allows students to get better connected with what goes on around them, because at university, there's a lot of moving parts. We've designed our platform to be easy to use from anybody from upper faculty all the way to the first-year students who are the Gen Z generation. We allow universities to pick which features best suit their community culture and allow them to toggle these features on and off as needed. When we think about differentiators, we are the only platform that's focused on universities and colleges. As well, we personalize content based on user interest. So each individual has a different interest. As well, we have branding behind social isolation because that is our mission. Enterprise is a monthly subscription priced at $5.99 a month for 10,000 users and $40 for an additional 1,000 users. Pilot deals are currently underway with UBC Okanagan as well as Okanagan College, and once those models are in place, we'll be moving towards the west to make our impact. In May, we'll be offering a free community to City of Kelowna. We'll be focusing on closing a capital raise in July, launching our products on campuses in September, and then we'll be looking to expand in June of 2021. We're looking for $150,000 in equity investment, where money would be going towards marketing for both Kelowna and Enterprise, as well as product development for Enterprise. To recap, we are a social enterprise and we want to end social isolation. We bring people together in their community and we are a platform behind social change. Thank you.
Questions from the judges?
Great pitch. Can you extend a little bit on, the barriers to entry, right? Like anybody with a computer these days, if they have the will, they can code something and make something amazing. And then, you guys are really educated. You're in a market. It's like a monopoly market, right? Either you get really big or, it's really hard to sustain yourself in the future. So can you talk first a little bit about what are your strategies when it comes to competitor? Because from where I can see, there's a lot of competitors who might not be doing exactly the same thing as you, but users might prefer their service over yours, Facebook, etc. Right? So what are your strategies into tackling?
Thank you for your question. When we think about our platform and how being students for 5 years on campus at UBC Okanagan, graduating last year, we saw the problem straight ahead in front of us, and we are early adopters of all the major websites that are currently in place. But still, events are being shown on Instagram, events are being shown on Facebook, but there's no closed community where you actually get to see what's going on around you. And when we personalize content based on the user, there could be 100 events going on in 1 month. Users actually get to see what's personal to them and what's meaningful to them. So they see content they actually want to engage with and get involved with. Our features are designed to bring you in person. And that's one of our biggest differentiators, is that we really want to focus on social isolation, and we do that by bringing people face to face. And I think that would be the biggest differentiator, because there are a lot of students on campus who want to get involved with interests that vary, and we all embrace our uniqueness, and people really want to just get involved and don't have the means to do that so right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, guys. I guess my brain is money, so I want to understand your break-even point, and what's it going to take to get to that, and what's going to happen to delay you to get to that.
Yeah, so based on our revenue model, like we said, it's a monthly subscription base, and so we can calculate our MRR based on the number of subscriptions that we obtain in a certain period of time. Now, we have early conversations going with UBCO, Okanagan, and OC as our first adopters. That's 2 companies. Now, if we can track our progress and trend, our current goal that we've shown on this slide deck is 20 companies. 20 companies would take us to our break-even point, and that break-even point would be achieved within 2 years' time. So as an investor, you would recoup your investment within that 2-year time base, and as well as pushing forward beyond that when we get to a subscription base of 200 clients, which we see ourselves growing to if we follow the same production. Our MRR actually reaches over 100,000 per month, and our costs are quite low because of the self-performing development and the nature of our business, which is getting a large community base which already has connections and the users within that community base, which makes marketing easier to those users because they're directly involved with the organization already.
Oh,
Okay, last question.
Thank you. Okay, sorry. But what do you foresee? What could happen that will stop you from hitting those 20?
To stop us from hitting those 20, I suppose, would be failure with our first early adopters, which is not an option because what we do in this first round of streamlining our product is we get and value the customer feedback more than anything else. So when we go through these relationships with UBC and OC, we learn what's really important to the university. And further to that, we need to focus on the members within that community itself. The roadblocks would actually be solving the problem that we're trying to do for that community. And if we can't solve the problem, we don't have a product. So that's what I see as being the biggest barrier. I see the need for this product, and I do see that if we can build following the vision that we have and the current product we have in place, that we will be able to definitely get through that roadblock as well.
Thank you, Proximi. Our next team, Bandit VR, CEO, Janice Ip.
So hi, we are Bandit VR, and let's get started. So what does all these have in common? When they stream, they have over millions of views, with the one on the right having 3.5 million paid subscribers just to watch this live. And we all know that streaming is really big right now. So this is where VR should be heading. So everyone has a phone. What if we could bring this immersive experience right on your phone and you guys are able to watch any concert live and see it directly in that immersive experience? More than half of VR users don't have headsets. And we all know that the streaming service, the streaming industry is expected to grow to $125 billion by 2020. And more than half of these people are consuming content right from their phones. And they're more likely to pay for extras. And this is why we're tackling this business. So we're very fortunate at Bandit VR. We have 2 experts in the field of VR. One being Vincent, who is currently doing his research in VR, and the other one's Ken, who's actually a doctor at UBCO right now, and me, Janice, who will be working on market strategy. So since 2018, we've been looking into VR. We have successfully created VR showrooms for manufacturing and architectures. And we thought that we could create better value. So we decided to look into construction and mental health. And today, we're very proud to say that we believe that VR in streaming would be the next big thing. Our go-to-market strategy is easy. We get people, we get the prototype going, and we launch, and we make it better. We do, of course, have competitors, but we have 2 main types. We have those streamers, and we have immersive experiences, but they're highly unlikely to be our competitors. Our main competitor would likely be Wave, who already have successfully created virtual concerts for many different artists in Los Angeles. So, our go-to-market is the way we make money is really simple. We charge a setup fee, and we get a percentage of each sale. Right now, we're hoping to get mentors in this industry And we also want connections to get more and more musicians into this. So, thank you.
Questions from the judges?
Could you explain a little bit more of the experience, the user experience? So I've got a small device in front of me, and I may not be your target market, but...
Okay, so one thing that a lot of people don't know is that most phones on the market, anything after 2016, has VR capabilities, which means that they're able to recognize movement on your phone. So that's where some of the headsets where you plug in your phone comes from. And with that, when people think of VR, they think of those heavy glasses that looks like really chunky with the 2 screens. That's not it. VR space is literally a virtual space that's created so you're able to look around. And that's it. So imagine you being at a concert. Like, you've all seen live streams out there. And the thing about live streams is that they are based on cameras. But what if I could look at it from one of you guys' view? And for example, I'm a big fan of Backstreet Boys, and my eyes is always on Nick. So I would like to be able to follow Nick around instead of cutting out to some other guy that I'm not interested in.
Now I get it. She should start. That was
Right.
great.
Yeah. Okay, let's get the mic in front.
Yeah.
One of the things you said was we want to launch and then make it better.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about that and maybe at the same time address your competition?
Yes.
Maybe a little more, please.
Okay, so let me go back to the competition page. Okay, so right now, let's start with streaming. So streaming is very straightforward. You shoot a video and you see it live. And with a lot of VR out there is that you get to interact and get to do a lot of interactions with that. But with us right now, we're focusing on getting that streaming experience out there right now. And once we can then add multiple layers into it. For example, we can add another AR layer to it. For example, if I'm at a Beyonce concert and Beyonce wants dragons in his background, I'm able to add that layer right from our phone, and we're able to see dragons right on top of her. And that's something that we, at the audience, probably wouldn't be able to see, but we streaming could see that particular design. So that's just one of the many ways we could improve it. Of course, there's also a problem with hosting because we have to understand that how do we make this as smooth as possible for people viewing this at home. So there'll be improving on streaming and hosting and all that stuff. So right there we have Wave. Wave is really interesting because they actually made that particular concert there. So you could see that that particular video is fully in a 3D space, and that's what Wave is focusing on. Unfortunately, that is really expensive because you have to think about all the animation, the 3D modeling, and all that stuff. What we want to focus on is live streaming, so getting a camera out there, grabbing the 360 sound, and get you involved in that environment.
Okay, our time is up. Thank you so much, Janice. Now we're moving on to the customer discovery track. Our first presenter, Omega Ratio CEO Jake Winkler.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Jake Winkler and I am the founder of Omega Ratio, and I'm extremely excited to talk to you about why it's such an important dietary tool. I want to first, though, bring your attention to the silent epidemic that is plaguing our healthcare system, and that is the 13 million people living with a chronic condition. Joe is one of those individuals with diabetes, and now he's at risk of developing heart disease. He's looking at changing many aspects of his life in order to reduce the progression of his disease, and one of the many ways to do that, and most proven, is looking at his diet. What nutritional research would show is that he should balance out his omega-6 and his omega-3 fat consumption in order to reduce the inflammation that's driving his condition. And this is extremely important because many North Americans are currently consuming a highly imbalanced ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s. Now, because this is relatively new information, people like Joe are struggling with understanding the sources of these fats and why they should even care about their consumption. Additionally, nutrient databases that apps currently use are missing critical information on omega-6 and omega-3 content in foods. We want to help people like Joe. Omega Ratio is the first tool of its kind to reliably track omega-6 and omega-3 in a user's diet. It will provide food sources for that individual, education and research, and a detailed history of their consumption. It's extremely special because we actually plan on building a new up-to-date database for omega-6 and omega-3 content in food. It's specific and targeted to balancing your approach out, and it's developed by a team of fatty acid experts. The market for this is quite large, and we look at entering it through that dietitian-client relationship, because this not only promotes accountability, but also ensures that those lifestyle changes are realistic. Additionally, we have established community partnerships with dietitians to test the app once it's developed. Omega Ratio will be available for $9.50 a year, and this revenue model has been proven successful by a highly specific dietary app already on the market. Our team is built upon people who have their master's or their PhD in fatty acid science, and our goal is achievable because we have access to those analysis facilities. I know there are a lot of nutrient trackers on the market, but they are all using databases that are missing information on omega-6 and omega-3 content in foods. So we stand out with a new fatty acid database, educational resources, and recommendations specifically for omega-3 and omega-6 content. And with this, we do need your help. We are looking for a loan of $15,500, which will be matched by MyTax, to start funding the creation of that new database and solidify our competitive advantage. And we're also looking for any healthcare professionals to pilot the app and provide feedback and support, and ultimately achieving our goal of helping people like Joe take control of their fat consumption and manage their chronic conditions. Thank you.
Hey, good cause. I was involved in an app for youth diabetics with the Children's Hospital. And we spent about 2 years doing analysis, stickiness. The biggest sticking point was motivation, right? You're talking about data. You're a data play. You're building a database and attempting and strategic position yourself to having the most data set against a specific type of omega, right? So 2 different omegas you talked there. So
yes, yeah.
You'll have the biggest database, right? And so what is your trigger or driver to keep stickiness in play? Because holding yourselves accountable was the biggest problem that we had in the hospital for kids, for example.
Yeah, of course, and that's a big issue with any nutrient tracker or any lifestyle change is holding someone accountable. So that is why we started creating the partnerships with dietitians. They have relationships with their clients that either they're coming in every week or every month or whatever it be, that they can be held accountable for making those choices. If it does come to a point, let's say a year down the road, that those relationships aren't there anymore, at least we have the food sources so they can still have it in their pocket when they're going grocery shopping and actually using it to choose what type of food they're going to eat. So it's multifaceted in the case if somebody isn't somebody who likes to track or yeah.
I have a question on timeline for you because this is unique right now. You would be the first really focusing on this, but depending on your timeline, there might be other competitors in the market.
Yes.
So I'd love to get an understanding of how long do you think it's going to take with this database, what's your vision around that, and how do you plan to be first to market?
Yes. So, I mean, right now there are nutrient databases that are available, but they are missing a lot of those features of omega-6 and omega-3s. Right now, there are some foods that have those included, so we can start even creating the app now, and then once we've developed and start building our own database, kind of mesh those two together, so we can really almost get out to market as soon as possible, and then slowly bring in those better analyzed foods to build our own database. So it's something that we can continue to do right off the bat once it's developed. So,
thank you, Omega Ratio.
Thank you.
Our next team, GooLab, co-founder Payman Yosefi.
Hello everyone, my name is Payman, co-founder of GooLab. Our story begins with great grapes to make great wine. That's why Robert thinks about producing great grapes. Why? Because improvement of 25 points in the bottle of wine, it will increase the price 10 times. That's why he thinks about that. So he decided to do some research. He found keywords which are effective variables in data collection of vineyards. So he goes to vineyard, maximum 3 times a day, get sample, give it to experts, they do experiments, they provide him with information, but it's not reliable. 3 times, plan for vineyard, and then he goes to companies to provide him with information with remote sensors. They provide more than 100 data online in their systems. But again, he needs to hire an expert to interpret this information to him to be used. So he comes to GoLab. Not only we provide more than 1,000 highest accuracy with high resolution data of his vineyard, we process it in cloud and then interpret the data the way how Robert by himself understand that to use for his vineyard and use this green environment friendly energy to manage his vineyard and irrigation systems to save water, labor, cost, time, and etc. How? Implementing Smart Pebbles, our device, to pulse the data to cloud. Then we applied AI system in the cloud to process it to be useful for Robert. And then he can check everything wherever he is, in his devices, phone, tablet, anything. He doesn't need to be in his office or vineyard. This is the connectivity of our devices, just for case, temperature and humidity, 7 sensors in 7 studs. So Robert can control this information to keep the moisture of soil in this rate, so he doesn't need to irrigate everywhere to waste water and just destroy the winds. And we have 5 only similar companies who work in wine industry, and as you see, we cover all the bases with the minimum price and least intervene. From the beginning date till now, we developed our platform. Right now, we are working on funds from IRAP and MyTax. And during our customer discovery, we got major wineries who are interested to our platform, and we hope that we can collaborate with them in coming spring. I would like to introduce our team, Dr. Rezai, mechanical and chipset expert, Dr. Zaim, electrical engineer, and I'm the data analyst and AI developer of the team, and our mentors and advisor team. Thank you. Thanks. By the way, he's Robert Mandovi, Oscar winner of our story. He's God of wine ever industry.
So from a sensor point of view, you talked about humidity and some water, moisture. What other things are important for the growing of the vineyard? And then you talked about optimization of the inputs being water as one of them.
We started with moisture in the soil because it's very important for wineries, especially they can measure the companies like well-known companies charge them for $2,000 per sensor, and they just measure 2 feet of surface of soil. But for them, the bottom more than 2 feet is important, especially in windy days, which change the temperature of surface of soil. So when we were doing customer discovery, we got that they introduced different variables. By getting bigger wineries, they had different needs. So this is the evolution of our device to cover all of those variables. And right now we can measure moisture in soil, temperature, wind speed, solar rate, and yeah. Yep.
Can you extend a little bit more on the market? Because like your competition, how big is the market? What are your plans into? Yeah.
These are all companies around the world working in agtech. And only this spot, they are working in agriculture, sensors, and data collection. And 60% of these companies are a startup. And here in this table, 5 companies are working in wine industry, just collecting data and giving it to the farmer to use them. And we cover all the needed necessary bases. So comparing to the similar companies in the market, till now we have all the bases. We cover it, and we gonna collaborate with Airtus company, which is the highest high-tech company in this industry. So hopefully we can start with them in coming spring.
Thank you, Gulab. Our next team, Apex Biomedical Solutions Incorporated, co-founder Arpin Buehler.
Hello. Big stage. Hello, so my name is Arpin Buehler, and we are Apex Biomedical Solutions. And we're here to present to you our first product, Sutrain. Now, as a company, we're focusing on the $21 billion that are spent on medical errors every year in North America. And our first product is for suture training. Now, suture training for students today is inadequate. Patients can be left with ugly scars due to students being poorly done stitches, due to just them being uncomfortable in the operating room. And their training is incomplete, as they're only given about 12 hours of practice across 4 years of medical school. And this training is insufficient, as current practices rely on unethical pig feet in the classroom, which only simulate tough skin, like on our backs. And at home, students are left using unrealistic silicone models, which just don't behave anything like human tissue. This leaves an unmet need in their education. Let me ask you a question. If you were choosing someone to sew an open wound on your body, would you want someone who's never sewn human tissue before, or someone with countless hours of practice? We think the answer to that is unanimous, and this is why we've created Sutrain. Sutrain is our novel biomaterial, which mimics human skin. When blindfolded, surgeons stated that they couldn't tell the difference between our material and real human tissue. We've combined our novel material with our unique base, and it provides a lifelike sewing experience like nothing else. Our product line begins with our starter kit. This includes one tissue and one base. Moving up to our specialist kit, we include every tool necessary for suturing at home in one easy package. We'll also be selling replacement tissues of varying difficulty. As the material wears with repetitive usage, this will provide us a recurring revenue source as users replenish the consumable. For our market, we're looking at 167 medical schools and 25,000 students joining every year. This totals to over 100,000 students and professionals practicing continuing development every year. For our competition, there are a number of players in this market, but they're all hindered by the same thing, their reliance on unrealistic silicone. Our competitive advantage is that Sutrain is nearly indistinguishable from human tissue. And when you consider that, there really isn't any competition. We at Apex Biomedical Solutions are a team of talented engineers with a wide scope of technical experience. Our mentors through this program have been Wayne Senner and Rose Bojani. In our first year, we're hoping to gain traction with 30% of UBC medical students with our starter kits and replacement tissues, aiming for an annual first-year revenue of $22,000. And our ask is for $71,000 to be used for equipment, marketing, and manufacturing, and this will finance our operations for the next 9 to 12 months. On behalf of everyone at Apex Biomedical Solutions, thank you for this opportunity to present Sutrain.
Hey, good stuff so far. So, when I look at hard products, I think about the environment. Sustainability is the hottest topic these days, right? What's your carbon/environmental footprint in terms of damages for production? And secondly, environmental friendly from a product perspective?
Well, if we're looking at silicone models today that are the most common use, still on? Yeah. They're mostly petroleum based. Our material, we can say, is up to 95% water by material. So from that standpoint, it is far more environmentally friendly than everything available on the market today.
Rose is your mentor. I'm going to go easy on you. that you guys are asking for 71K, right?
Yes.
Tell us about the money and the runway that it gives you, and why only 71K, and what do investors get back for the capital? Let's just say if we write you a check of $70,000 today.
The banker wanted that. That's good.
We are engineers. We like to have everything detailed. We could have asked for more, but this is everything we need for our first year operations. We're looking at money for setting up our equipments, for our manufacturing costs, and for our inventory stock. Our first year, we're planning on marketing at international and local conferences, as well as giving out free samples to universities across Canada. Once we give our material into the hands of surgeons and medical professionals teaching, they see the difference immediately. And once they have that, then we're hoping to progress that on to their students.
Yeah, what do investors get though with that 71K? What do we get?
Yeah, what are the terms of the 70K?
Yeah, what are the
71K?
terms? Like, do we get equity?
Right now, we're looking for grants. For actual investments, we'd be up for discussions on how we'd progress with that.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
Thank you, Apex.
That was 6. Great. Get out the door.
I understand that we have 2 VIPs here tonight, and I wanted to recognize them. Our MP, Tracy Gray. I can see her back there. Welcome, Tracy. And I understand that Colin Bazran, our mayor, is here as well. So welcome to Colin. So, this is where you get to vote. On the screen, get your cell phones out. On the screen is the address to enter into your phones, and you'll be able to vote on the Audience Choice Award. The Audience Choice Award is sponsored by IBI Group. IBI is a global architecture and technology firm with 60 offices around the world designing cities of the future. The company is based in Vancouver, and we're very excited that they've opened an office here in Kelowna. They are designing some of the most important commercial buildings in the downtown core over the next couple of years. We have here tonight Scott Taylor, a project designer with the firm. Scott and his team and teams from elsewhere in the country have been involved in our Smart Cities initiative, working with E at UBCO, the city, BC Cancer, and other partners to help create a more connected community and more efficient city services. So I'm going to ask Scott to come up, and he's going to actually present the Audience Choice Award when we present the winners. Next, I'd like to share with you the exciting prize packages that we have for the winners tonight. The marketplace winners are going to receive total value of $30,000. And the customer discovery teams will receive almost $20,000 in prizes. This is possible because of our incredible sponsors. Pusher Mitchell came on board this year and really helped Sarah and I take this competition to a whole different level, and we're really grateful for their support. MNP is the sponsor of our Lean Launchpad Accelerator program that really helps the ventures get to this stage in their business pitches. And MNP is the founding sponsor of that program, and they've come on board as the platinum sponsor of this competition, and we're very grateful for that support. RBC helped me conceive of this competition last year, and they support the women entrepreneurs in the program, and we're very grateful for that. COEDC and Alumni UBC also came on board this year. This program is free to UBC alumni, regardless of which campus they graduated from. And, okay, 5 to 7 years out of school is okay, but you know, if you've been out of school for 20 years, no, we can't help you. But we really are trying to spread the word about the program in the community. We also have a few other sponsors. John Skinner from Painted Rock and Tony Holler from Poplar Grove, and his son Chris Holler is here very kindly pouring wine from Poplar Grove, so introduce yourself to him. But both wineries donated the wines for this evening so we could have a superb experience. So thank you. So the packages. The packages will include cash prizes. They'll include subsidies for the Accelerate Okanagan Venture Acceleration Program, and I believe we have the new person who's in charge of that program here tonight. So if you have questions, you can speak with her. There she is. We have a subsidy for the Valhalla Angels boot camp. We have office suites in our E at UBCO accelerator in this building. And then we have incorporation packages from our signature sponsor, Pusher Mitchell, and accounting mentoring packages from MNP. I'm going to ask Brian Stevenson, who's an attorney and a business development manager with Pusher Mitchell, and Gary Parmar, who's a partner with MNP, to come on stage and share with you the details about the packages. I also, before we go any further, want to recognize our mentors. We have 25 business mentors who've been giving countless hours over the past 5 months to get the teams to this stage. And we couldn't do it without them. Many of them have actually been volunteering for the past 2 years, and cumulatively, the 55 teams over the 2 years have raised $2 million, and they've hired 70 people. So it's been a tremendous community building effort, and we're really, really grateful. So thank you to all of them. There are some here and some upstairs. So if I'm going to hand the microphone over now to Brian and to Gary, and they can tell you a little bit about their packages.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Camille. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming here tonight. Pusher Mitchell, as the signature sponsor of this event, we're really thrilled to be a part of supporting the entrepreneurial community and the program at E at UBCO. The incorporation packages were thoughtfully put forward as a result of the needs that these businesses at various stages have when it comes to their funding and their organization. And when we're able to help individuals and businesses incorporate, they're able to access different funding through MyTax, different tax incentive programs through the province. So that was the real thinking behind it. So again, thanks to everyone for coming tonight. Pusher Mitchell's thrilled to be a part of all of this. For anyone who doesn't know, we are a full-service law firm, so we're able to help people across a wide variety of legal matters. And we hope to be able to continue to support these types of programs and the community generally going forward. Thanks.
Thank you. Well, I'd first like to start off on a special evening to say happy birthday to a special person. It's Camille's birthday today. As an entrepreneurial firm, we've enjoyed helping entrepreneurs start up with their business and the success of their business. We're pleased to sponsor a 1-year package where we're going to offer monthly mentorship to the 3 finalists, and we're with our Startup to Success program for our firm. And as a full-service firm as well as Pusher Mitchell, we're a national accounting firm and the 5th largest in Canada and the 2nd largest here in BC. And we're congratulating these sponsors tonight. Thank you, Camille.
Okay, I see a judge. Do we have the votes in yet? Okay, we'll give it a few more minutes. So, how many mentors are here right now in this room? Everybody put their hands up. Perfect. So make sure when you're in the networking session to have a chat with them. Some of our judges were also mentors. I really have learned so much from them, and I've been really grateful that they've been willing to give so much time. As we got really close to the competition, folks were meeting at homes for 3 and 4 hours and ripping decks apart and putting them back together, and ripping decks apart and putting them back together, and it got pretty intense. But I think the end result, you'll all agree, is pretty impressive. I'm sure the judging decision was difficult. So has everybody done their Audience Choice Awards? Yeah, everybody done? Okay. For a wrap, Sarah, the envelope, please. Come and join me on stage. And actually, I'd like Scott to come on up, Scott Taylor, and actually Gary and I can't see, the light's so bright. Brian and Gary. And actually, poor Courtney's now having a little snack. I think it would be great to have Courtney up as well. So Scott, I'm going to get you to announce the Audience Choice Award.
The award for the Audience Choice is Apex Biomedical.
Exciting, congratulations. Congratulations, yay! Congratulations. So great.
Yeah, great job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Good job.
You guys looking great.
I'm not sure who
Arpin, you want to come get your group? There we go. You guys are going to have to make photocopies. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The first prize goes to Taste Advisor. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations, Alyssa. Yay! Second prize in the marketplace track is Proximy.
Wherever you guys want us.
The third prize is Bandit VR. Hey. Come on, Vincent. Yeah, Vincent. It was a long journey for this team to get this far. This is really exciting.
Good job, you guys.
Okay, customer discovery track. The first prize is Omega Ratio.
Thank you.
Second prize is GooLab. Payment. And third prize, Apex Biomedical Solutions. With that, I'd like to thank all of our judges. We're so grateful for your insights, for your time, and in some cases for your travel quite some distance to be here with us. Thank you all so much. We have a special gift here for you to take with you, so don't forget, it's right there. And I'm sure everyone will enjoy meeting you and chatting with you further in the reception afterwards. I want to once again thank the sponsors, thank the mentors, and thank all of you for coming out to support the event. It really means a lot to us to have your presence here, to see the kind of work that's going on at the university and that's going on with the graduates out of the university. We so appreciate it. And I appreciate this beautiful woman. She made this happen tonight. It's just fantastic. Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, it's my birthday. Let's celebrate.